let me throw the spotlight up. All right, so we're at another indie spotlight from Gary. This time we're going to be talking about. There's a big mouthful, like Gary said earlier. It says record of Lodoss War, Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. Um, it is a 2D action platformer. It takes place during the middle of the anime. There's an anime and manga about this game. I do have the trailer all queued up, ready to go.
Uh,
Gary says it's great looking. I've never seen it
really,
yet.
really quick. This is developed by Team Ladybug, and I believe um, that it's already out on Steam
It is, and Xbox.
and Xbox, right?
Free on Game
So,
Pass.
but it will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. The trailer just dropped, a few days ago or yesterday. I can't remember, but a few days ago. It looks very reminiscent of Castlevania. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is coming January 28th to the Nintendo Switch. It is already out on Steam and Xbox. Let's take a look at the trailer and see what it looks like.
That sneaky treasure box.
Yeah, so that is Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth. It is from, like you said, Team Ladybug. So the description is, it says it's a series of fantasy novels written by Ryo Mizuni, depicting the rise and fall of heroes and their adventure on the cursed island of Lodoss. Known as the pinnacle of Japanese fantasy and a pioneering work in light novel genre, this best-selling work boasts a total circulation of over 10 million copies, as well as a wide variety of arrangements and versions in other media, including animated installments. Previous installments in the series include Record of Lodoss War, its sequel, Record of Lodoss War Next Generation, and the 2019 Record of Lodoss War Diadem of the Covenant. Man, fucking long ass names.
Hmm.
The main characters of the story are the young knight Parn and Deedlit, the high elf known as the Eternal Lady, together with a number of friends, including Priest Ito, Sorcerer Slain, and more. They embark on an epic journey through Lodoss. Says the entire series has gained a widespread and loyal following throughout the globe, with the heroine Deedlit enjoying a particular popularity. In fact, it is even said that the famous fantasy trope of high elves having long ears was originally inspired by Deedlit herself. So it seems to be a very popular Japanese property that I barely know anything about.
Yeah, so I looked it up on YouTube. There is an anime, and I'm thinking, is this like an older, like probably from the 80s, maybe late 80s type
I
anime?
remember
Like,
watching the anime in like 2001 or two, like long time ago. And I remember it. I don't think it. I haven't watched it since then, but it was incomplete. Like they just stopped like midway through the series, and it was pretty good.
I think it's had old animes, new animes. Let me see. When was it created? It started in 1988.
ooh, see, yeah. Had it pegged. It has that look to it. So
it is. It had an OVA series. It had some anime series, 1990, 1998, a 2014 series, a bunch of manga, tons of games. They had a radio drama, so I mean, this is a pretty big franchise. Books on tape, if you could believe that. Yeah, Loki Doki. It's an old anime from the 80s and 90s.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it does. Chupacabra was right. It looks like D&D Symphony of the Night. Yeah, it looks
Gary,
fun.
you gonna buy it?
Yeah. I mean, it has some nice pixel art. That's the first thing that always attracts me to these
Did they
games.
say if
Obviously,
there's gonna be a physical?
There is
I
a
didn't.
physical.
I didn't see anything particularly about it being a U.S. release. I don't know if that release will most likely be region free. I mean, obviously you'll be able to import it from a Play Asia or whatever, but whether or not they'll have a US physical release, I'm sure that is the perfect game for something like Limited Run to do. They seem to grab those ones up, games like that. So I would expect there to be probably a physical release maybe in the next year or two. I don't expect it probably to come out this year, but maybe next year. But it does look good. I think the pixel art looks good. I absolutely love. Obviously, I've said it a million times in most games that I pick and show. On the indie spotlight ends up being Metroidvania games, but that's my bread and butter.
Gary, I will say this: a physical version for Europe and North America is also being planned in collaboration with Red Alert Games, with a release schedule for January 2022. So they are planning a physical version.
And I think Red Alert. I don't know if that is that a limited run type, super rare games, special reserve. It might be. So I know there's a lot of companies nowadays that are limited run. There's about 5 or 6 of them now. So, well, that's good news. I didn't find anything when I did look the little information that I did look up.
I'm looking at the press release from the 16th of December.
Well, that's good news though. That's what I like to hear. I love I have a hard time with right now. I've yet to play Cuphead, only simply for the fact that I've been waiting 3 years now for the physical version to drop, and it should drop once this final the DLC comes out. So
it is a bit odd that it's been that long because Cuphead is pretty big.
Yeah, and I think they've been focusing on a few other things, and obviously the work that they put into Cuphead, it's not it's not like they skimped on the animation. I mean that work probably does take quite a while to do. I mean, all this stuff's hand drawn and has to be done just right. But it has been a long time, and I have put that off for so long. Loop Hero was the last game that I bought the digital and bought the physical. I try to conserve the money and not waste it. But I thought I'd double dip because it was such a good game. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll pick it up digitally. We'll see what happens here in the next few months.
You can convert, and now that you have internet, you can get a Game Pass subscription and play all these awesome games.
Well, I'm almost there. We're almost there. We're getting better for the show, but in a week or two we'll have that.
I've been playing a lot on my computer, just streaming and just hooking up a USB controller to my computer, and it works so much better. Even just over the last 6 months, it's almost, I wouldn't say flawless, but it is very good. So you don't even need an Xbox at all, for the most part.
Well, I will say this: with these indie spotlights, we definitely got to get Gary to purchase these games, play them,
so I can review them,
put some content up.
Just don't give him any 2.5D games because he has a bias.
I mean, I'm not.
Start a GoFundMe for Gary.
I'm not. Go ahead.
I was gonna say an indie game GoFundMe, so Gary could buy these every month. But anything else you want to say about this game, Gary? This is your indie spotlight.
Looks pretty good. I'm interested to see a little bit more. And obviously, this is out. I could probably dig a little bit deeper, kind of like the company, man. I could dig some deeper and watch some more gameplay and have a little better understanding of how it works. But just from the trailer alone, I like to kind of not look at that when I'm trying to give it like a genuine reaction to it. I think just from the trailer alone, when we know trailers can be deceiving, but it looks like quality content there. You know, I think the Pixar art looks great. I think if the music is similar to what, you know, a Castlevania series has, or what was shown in the trailer, I think that I mean, the music will be good, and the combat looks pretty fun. You know, it's got the inner workings. Nothing of a game of the year type game, but for you know, indie retro stuff, I think it looks rather good. So
Well, it has a 8 out of 10 on Nintendo Life. 96% like this on Google users. I'm not seeing anything else from Metacritic. But it seems people do like the game. They do enjoy it. It seems to be getting good reviews. So it seems like you picked the winner here, Gary.
you know, when I first catch these on the because it was kind of just like a spur of the moment. I'm usually surfing YouTube when I see these drop. It's kind of like if you don't know about it and you don't really research it really well, you'd never know that you know, the game was out for quite a while. I don't know how long it's been out on Xbox and Steam, but you know, I see these they pop up from Nintendo, and I'm like, oh wow, a new game, something I haven't heard of. I mean, and that's just to go show how many games come out, you know, on a yearly basis, and things that you've never heard of and that catch your eye really quick. So, but it looks good. I'm excited. I'm excited to look more into it.
We are excited to see you play it, stream it, put it up on the channel, make more content.
Maybe that will be the first game that I go and review and play once I get the internet here and get the Elgato set up, and maybe we'll go and do that.
All right. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, Gary. We always look forward to these.